episode of Easy Talk is sponsored by Spotlight Productions. When it comes to quality, Spotlight Productions strives to deliver excellence. Welcome to another edition of Easy Talk, real talk for true entrepreneurs. Now, I know you guys work hard and you're stressed out, but guess what? Today, we're going to show you how you can alleviate some of that stress from our very own speaker, Derrick Pointer. Derrick is going to talk to us today about how we can continue to live our lives the best that we can as entrepreneurs with less stress, feeling good, getting the body moving, and good circulation. So stay tuned. Let's hear from Derrick Pointer. Derrick, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you
for
having me.
So glad to have you take some time to spend with us. I know you got a really busy schedule, so we appreciate it. But I know the entrepreneurs really need to hear about how they can de-stress their lives. Yes. So before we get into the show, I want to tell our audience a little bit more about you. Our guest today, Derrick Pointer, is a highly skilled licensed massage therapist with 8 years of experience, helping his clients to relieve stress, recover from injuries, and improve their overall well-being. Whether you're dealing with tension from a long workday, or if you're looking to improve your circulation, or just craving for some pure relaxation, Derrick knows exactly how to bring balance to your life. Derrick is going to help us to explore benefits of different massage techniques, how we can incorporate massages, and how we can keep a better, well-rounded routine. Derrick is a father. He has 4 wonderful children. He's married, and he is a Christian man who loves the body. He loves nature, and he's going to help you to explore those things today. Derrick, again, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. So tell us a little fun fact about you.
Believe it or not, my favorite thing to drink outside of water is lemonade.
Oh, okay.
So I do the kiwi, the guavas, the different kinds of lemonade that I like to explore a little bit. So that's.
Now, is this a real thing? I've heard people say you should drink lemon water. Is that good, healthy, clean?
It's pretty good. It's good hydration for you. It's just that, some of us like to add a little sugar to it.
Right, and that's where the hurt comes in, right? Just a little
that's
sugar.
That's correct.
So talk to us a little bit more about your specialty. So you talk about improving circulations, helping people with injuries, helping you to de-stress. How did you come about getting that to be your passion?
So I've always kind of been, played sports the majority of my life.
Okay, football player looks like to me.
Football player, absolutely.
Okay, I called it.
And I've always kind of been a team therapist. Whenever some of my fellow teammates may have had any injuries or any dings or dongs, they would call on me to do any stretches and for some reason, I would go right to the problem and help them alleviate just without any training or anything.
Wow.
I guess it was my intuition, I'm not sure, but I've always been just kind of hands-on with it, just off the cuff.
Wow.
And, later on in life decided that was a passion for me, but at the time couldn't really afford to invest in going back to school as an adult because I had a little family that I started. And I've always been the team therapist in all of my sports.
Wow. So you finally decided that, hey, let me go back to this passion that I had. And so you went back to school, and so it's been 8 years now.
Yes. So actually, I was working full-time in Memphis City schools.
Okay.
And it was a grant-funded program. My supervisor would always tell us at the end of the fiscal year, always have a plan A, B, C, or D.
Because you never know if you're going to get that grant funding again.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. To my dismay, though, it didn't really resonate to me until the 13th year. Because most grant-funded programs, they don't last 15 or 20 years. We almost got 15, 20 years.
Which is rare.
Which is very rare. But it started to resonate within me for the 13th year. And I began to put together a financial plan to be able to pay for school, to be able to put up enough for a year or two's expense just in the event if I have to just not work at all.
Wow.
And took a lot of sacrifice, of course.
Man, that's what I'm saying. Wow.
Yes,
I can't. Now, I've heard to have 3 to 6 months, but you said 1 to 2 years.
1 to 2 years because
How many entrepreneurs think like that? How many of us got 1 to 2 years savings?
Yeah. But to think about it, at the time, the school didn't offer financial aid. And of course, with my salary, I wasn't going to qualify for it anyway.
Okay.
So I had to put up enough to pay for that as well. and to take care of some, the expenses of
that was determination.
And to live, yeah.
So really, basically, you had to know that this is what I want to do, this is going to work, and I'm going to invest in me.
Absolutely.
That's pretty much how most businesses start.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have to be honest, though. There was some fear that kicked in.
Yeah. Oh, man, tell us about it. This is real talk for true entrepreneurs. How did you overcome that fear?
I went home and told my wife that I was going to cut my hours with the school system. And I was making pretty good money, of course. And she looked at me, was like, "You're going to do what?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I began to kind of lay out the plan and the vision for what I was trying to do.
You didn't just go to her cold turkey, "I'm going to be an entrepreneur, I'm going to holler at you, you take care of these bills."
Because I knew for a fact that I was going to pursue that, but I was also going to continue to work until I can kind of get to a point to where I'm able to branch out on my own.
Yeah. Now, that is a really great lesson for beginners of entrepreneurs to learn. It is okay to say I'm an entrepreneur and have a job.
Absolutely.
It is okay. Hey, I teach adjunct at 3 different colleges, but I need that consistent income while I push my entrepreneurship. To your point, until you get to that point where this is my sole income, it gives me what I need, and I don't have to do these things on the side.
Right. And even with working, so a light came on about 3 years ago to where I realized that even with me working while doing massages, I was overextending myself. I was overextending myself to the point to where I realized that I need to make a shift. So there was a shift in my mindset that says, hey, if you do massage full-time and work part-time, then that's going to put you on the route to where you have time freedom as well as financial freedom. So there's a shift that has to take place. But in my mind at the time, I'm so used to working because I know I got guaranteed and for sure checks coming in week in and week out.
Yeah, it's hard to let that go.
It's hard to let go.
That sure thing.
Absolutely.
But you know what? We got to bet on us.
Absolutely.
If you can't bet on yourself, who's going to bet on you?
Absolutely. So about 3 years ago, that's what the transition for me to be able to get out on my own and start my own business or whatever.
Wow. So Derrick, help us, because there may be some people out there that want to pursue their career, be it an entrepreneur or being in the entrepreneur world as a masseuse or something else. Did you start with like a collaboration, or did you just start going to people that you already knew? How did you kickstart that?
Believe it or not, I actually I was doing volunteer chair massages.
Volunteer? Volunteer means not getting paid.
Not getting paid.
Okay,
I would show up at Shelby Farmers Park. I would show up at Overton Park. I would show up at health fairs. I would show up at churches. I would show up at schools. I would show up at whatever and wherever I needed to get some cards out, to give everybody an opportunity to see what my touch was like. And I think
good old-fashioned boots on the ground.
Oh yeah, I believe at that point right there is when a lot of the people started to call, and I just kind of took off from there.
Wow.
From that point, led referrals, and from referrals to some social media presence or whatever. But yeah, just kind of getting out and understanding for me that giving is always, it's not about entrepreneurship for me. It's not always about what I'm receiving. I realize I have to give something.
Oh man, that's
as
it.
well.
That's
even more of a giver, to be honest.
And there's this little saying that I've heard. I can't say I've read it for sure. I can say I've heard and I believe you can't be God's given.
Oh yeah.
Can't be God's given.
Right.
The more you give, the more He gives to you.
Absolutely.
And that's just not in tithing, as people say. That's your time. That's your talent. Like living in your purpose. And like you said in the beginning, Derrick, you like, this was like an intuition you had. You knew how to go right to the spot and do that. So your gifts have made room for you. Absolutely. And now you are a full-time entrepreneur for the past 3 years. Wow.
Yes.
And that thing that you cannot pay for, that you will never get back, time. You talked about father time. So now you're not exchanging your time for wages.
Right.
You are making your income how you want it to be and using your time how and when you want to use it.
Absolutely.
That's real boss.
Absolutely.
That's real boss. I'm not there yet, but that's real boss.
Which frees up time where you're able to spend more with your family.
Yeah, because you said you have 4 kids, right?
4 children. Yes. Well, they'll always be my babies, but
they're adults.
they're adults. Yeah.
They will always be our babies.
Absolutely.
My son's grandmother used to always say, yeah, he'll be a baby on your lap, but then eventually he'll be laying on your heart.
Oh, I like
So he
that.
lay on your lap now, but eventually he'll move to your heart.
Yeah, that's wisdom. I like that. I like that.
That is awesome. So what kind of techniques that you have learned? You said license. So I'm assuming you got your licensing in certain areas of technique with injuries and with relieving stress. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So actually what they do is when you're in school, you learn different modalities.
Okay.
Whether if it's sports massage, whether if it's deep tissue massage, whether if it's Swedish massage. There are also some modalities where you can do energy work. But I pretty much specialize in therapeutic and medical massages to where we allow, help you to be able to relax and or to relieve some of those tension muscles that maybe if you've been in an accident or perhaps maybe if you've just been stressed from everyday work or whatever.
Okay, got it. Now, can you explain to us the difference in a Swedish massage and a deep tissue massage, and when would you need one versus the other?
Great question. So with a Swedish massage, most of us sometimes just don't really take time to just sit down and just relax and do nothing. And
I'm trying to do it now while
and just
we're talking.
breathe. You know what I mean?
Just time to just breathe.
Right. And so with Swedish, the clients come to just simply to relax.
Okay.
You'll be amazed at the clients that I have sometimes or prior to us meeting that they just never really sat down. They don't sleep very well. Of course, sometimes there are times when you want to take maybe something to help you to be able to go to sleep.
Right.
And so Swedish kind of takes the place or is an alternate route for you to be able to just
And
relax.
it's a natural.
It is.
It's a natural versus trying
It
to
is.
take something
It
to
is.
sleep.
It is. It's also written that a 60-minute massage is equivalent to 4 to 5 hours of sleep. That's what it does for your body.
Derrick, no way.
Yes.
A 60-minute massage is equivalent to 4 to 5 hours of sleep?
4 to 5 hours for your body.
Wow.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Entrepreneurs, how much sleep are you getting? How many massages are you getting?
Right.
That matters.
Right. It matters. It matters.
Wow.
So whatever your profession is, particularly us as men, we don't really take the time to just do some of the things for ourselves because we're hunters. We go get it. We make things happen.
Right.
Thankfully, my male population has increased. Surprisingly, let me say that.
Yeah, because most men don't want another man. We're gonna be honest. Real
Absolutely,
talk.
absolutely,
Real talk.
absolutely,
A lot of men
absolutely.
don't like men to massage them.
And that's okay. No offense taken. My thing is, whether if it comes from me or you or whoever it comes from, just make yourself a priority enough and take time to be able to get on someone's table once a month.
Once a month.
That's all you need.
And you just got 4 hours of sleep. Once a month.
You have just done your body well.
Wow.
For 4 to 5 hours.
Wow. So what about, so that's the Swedish, what about the deep tissue?
So deep deep tissue is more or less for my athletes.
Okay,
I don't like to call them gym rats, but my guys and girls who just in the gym all the time.
Lifting weights,
who
cardio.
has protruded muscles, and so there's a certain deepness that you have to go in order to be able to increase their circulation. You can't just use your hands with them because their muscles are so protruding and they're so big, and there's a certain technique that you use to go a little bit deeper than you would with a Swedish massage.
That makes sense.
In order to push the fluids to the heart and then flush out a lot of the toxins or whatever so that muscles continue to grow.
So you have a lot of entrepreneurs and executives that you work with. What's some of the main challenges that you see that they have that maybe we can try to avoid?
Some of the main challenge that I've seen is just really prioritizing themselves.
Making appointments and missing it because something happened, not making it a priority.
Or if something comes up that becomes a priority, What I've done is I work individually. My clients become my family, actually.
Okay.
And so we put together sometimes a plan to where, you know, as I show them, when I pencil my clients in on my book or my calendar, I pencil myself in.
See.
So if I pencil myself in, I am just as important to me as you are to me. So if someone is trying to book during that time, and if that time is set for me to do some reading or go to the gym or run errands or whatever the case may be, it helps me to be able to keep my priorities together.
Wow. So you're not just helping other people prioritize themselves. You are a living, walking testament of how important it is to prioritize your life.
Yeah, I have to, because it'll keep you out of balance. And for me, balance means everything.
Balance is everything.
Yeah,
it really is, because you can get pulled as an entrepreneur in so many different directions. I know I have made massage appointments like, I'm gonna do this, you know, I'm gonna do my wellness Wednesday, or I got my self-care Monday, and then that money comes, somebody book, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna reschedule,
Right.
But by the end of the week or by the end of the month, I'm wondering why I'm feeling so bad and so drained and so tight. It's like, because you didn't go get your massage.
Right. So what happens is when you start to get massage and stop, or when you begin to work out and you stop, your muscles begin to get shorter. My job is to elongate the muscles so it won't create any tension nor any injuries as you're pursuing whatever you're pursuing, whether if it's working out or whether if you just everyday life. So if the muscles are elongated, then it allows you to be able to have a more comfortable walk. Your gait is good.
Wow.
Different stretches that we use would allow you to be able to not walk to where your muscles are short, and they tend to bring your posture a little bit forward. Yeah.
And posture is important, especially as we age, because we shrink over time. You're not going to be elongated all your life.
Absolutely.
So being able to have that routine is really good. So you're saying maybe once a month is good, twice a month is even better?
At the very least.
At the very least once a month.
At the very least once a month. Twice a month is great. Twice a month is when you're pretty much you have goals or some things that you're trying to do or you're trying to alleviate like right away. Once a month is just kind of a monthly maintenance, kind of like we do our cars when it's time to get that oil changed.
That makes sense.
That little light comes on. My goal is to get to you and make sure that I don't see you when that light comes on.
Right. Okay. We want to prevent the light from coming on.
Preventative care.
Preventative care.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Now, do you do corporate clients as well? You mentioned individuals, but do you do like spa parties or corporate companies?
Yes, and yes to both of your questions.
Okay.
So we do spa parties, we do birthday parties, book club parties, to where sometimes, depending on the number of people that are attending, we'll take a team out. If it's a manageable number to where I can go and do it myself, then me and another young lady will go as well. Anytime I do any spa parties or go out and do corporate massage in schools, law offices, or whatever the case, I always take a female therapist with me everywhere I go.
Back to our point earlier, a man may not want another man, so you give that option. And some women may not feel comfortable with another man.
With their beliefs or whatever the case may be.
That's true.
So you always want to be able to accommodate everybody.
Yeah, that makes perfectly good sense. So as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, what are some of the challenges that you face as an entrepreneur in dealing with bodies? Because you're massaging people, you know, sometimes they're clothed and you're in the chair, sometimes they're not clothed.
So some of the challenges, pretty much, if I try and make everyone feel comfortable. And so if we're doing a table massage, then my goal is to make sure that you feel secure.
Okay.
And so I explain to everyone, you know, what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. Nothing's going to be shown no more than what we're working on. And so once we kind of lay that out, then it kind of got an idea as to, you know, what direction we're going in. However, sometimes there may be a client that, you know, may decide to say, well, hey, can you massage this particular area or that particular area? And just depending on where it is, of course, you know. You either can or you can't. And so you make sure you have your boundaries in place.
And I was just about to say, that's the first thought I got was having boundaries and setting those boundaries. Because any entrepreneur in any industry, you have to have boundaries. You have to have those boundaries set with your clients. And you have to be able to effectively communicate that to a point where this is what I stand on.
Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. Boundaries are important, not just in a professional, but as personal as well.
Yes, definitely.
And so, thankfully, I haven't had any of those issues to where, you know, the overstepping of the boundaries or anything like that. Most of my clients come through referral base. And so that has kept me out of a lot of the gray areas or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense, because now you're not with someone you don't know or
Right.
somebody you can't reference,
Right,
and
right.
that relationship building is very important.
Absolutely.
Very important.
Absolutely.
How do you network? How do you find, I know you said most of your business comes from referrals, but I'm just asking, just from an entrepreneur perspective, how would a masseuse network?
So 2 days out of the week, a day and a half out of the week, I take time to go out into the community and go and see different employers to offer wellness and massage within the workplace.
Okay.
Because I like to extend that opportunity for them and help them to understand that it would help build the morale for their staff if you invest in your staff to be able to allow us to come in as a team to do chair massages, whatever. So about a day and a half, I kind of go out and meet different ones. I write down, I have a target number of people that I want to go and see.
Okay.
And I write down some names. I get referrals from different ones who may work, to who to go speak with or who to go see. And just go and pass out cards, and maybe I have my chair with me everywhere I go.
So you always on ready.
If anybody wants a little taste of
what's
to expect, then I go and get the chair or whatever. So, so that day and a half kind of allows me to be able to expand what I'm trying to do as well. Not necessarily just for individual clients, but for corporate clients as well.
Awesome. Sounds like you really got a really good structure in place for how you run your business.
We're tweaking still. There's always room, to get better or whatever. I'm just learning as I go.
And I think we all are, especially newer entrepreneurs. And you said you had 8 years. I'm at 6 years this year. And you always have to evaluate, sit down and kind of audit yourself. Where am I going? What have I done? What did that look like? Even looking at referrals. Referrals are really, really big in any business, in any industry, because that's someone else advocating for you, for your brand. And it sounds like you've done a really great job at that.
Yeah, I'm thankful for, clients that I've established, my family as a family right now. And they just keep sending me good people. And good people keep sending me better people, and better people and it just goes on and on and on. So I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah. So help me with my entrepreneur audience to kind of tell us about a lesson learned, something that you learned that you have had to unlearn.
So one of the things I've had to learn, which is major, which may seem small, but it's major for me, is, well, actually two things. But the first one is the power of saying no. And the power of saying no for me.
Don't put the camera on me.
The power of saying no allows me to not, again, as I stated earlier, to overextend myself, because I can't duplicate myself all the time. I can't be at all these places at one time. What has allowed me to be strong in having the power of saying no is now I'm able to delegate.
Wow.
So that's number two for me. So those things I had to unlearn, because I've always felt that I can do it. My heart says I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. Somebody may call me over here, and I'm trying to be at both places within the next 30 minutes or so.
But that's like a chicken with your head cut off. You just don't know what direction you're going in.
You can't do it.
Can't do it.
So since
I can't do it, but we will try.
We'll try.
We will try.
We'll try. So since I can't do it, Ms. Hill, let me refer someone to you who I know who can definitely come in. I make a phone call. Hey man, I'm overloaded. Are you able to do A, B, C, or D? And then just kind of goes from there. That was a major turning point for me. And of course, what I apply in my professional life, I applied in my personal life as well. And so, but that was a major turn key for me.
That is a major, but I'm gonna tell you why I feel like a lot of us don't do that. You just said that you will call somebody else and refer them to somebody else. That means that you don't have a fear of competition.
Absolutely.
You don't have a fear of competition.
Absolutely.
Most people would say, well, I can't refer them to Alicia because then she'll start going to Alicia and won't call me anymore. But it doesn't sound like you have that mindset.
No, I'm very comfortable in what I do. Honestly, I feel like it's a paid hobby. It don't even feel like work. It feels like I'm placed here to do this.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
strong.
Yeah. To be able to make a difference in someone's life, physically, mentally, emotionally, because it's not just about the touch. You know, there are some other things that we have to tackle and talk about, and that's the part to where we become a family, because there's I have an opportunity to earn the right to be heard, and when there's a trust factor that kicks in, then now we become closer. So we're not client professional, we're still client professional, but now we're pretty much family professional or whatever. And so, you know, it's a beautiful thing.
And it's very therapeutic.
It is.
Some people want to get a massage and don't want to talk. I need just quiet time. And you can respect that.
Correct.
But when people get comfortable and they know that they value you as a person, they may ask you questions to get your advice. So they have left, like you said, mentally, physically, and emotionally stronger than they were before they came in.
Right. So what I've done is once I realized the power in just listening, I've built in an additional 30 minutes prior, and that's on me. I don't chart, an additional 30 minutes if needed, just to sit down and do what we're doing now, just to talk. If there's anything on your mind, or if we need to chit chat about anything, we want to laugh about something.
So it's not here to get dressed, okay, you gone.
No, it's not that. It's not that. It's not 50 minutes massage, 5 minutes to get dressed, 5 minutes to take care of the financial responsibility. No, it's not that.
Yeah.
It's whatever we need to do within that time frame that I set aside. If we have to go over, we'll schedule for you to come back. I
because
can't go into
you got somebody else's time. That's it.
correct.
Can't go over into somebody else's time,
Right,
which is so respectful. Because if I've been waiting for 29 days to get my massage, I need Derrick here at 4 o'clock as scheduled.
3:58 to be honest.
3:58.
Absolutely. With that table ready and warm.
Wow,
you know,
wow. And I have experienced it, I mean, for years. I think maybe my 43rd birthday, I think, was my first. And so that was 6 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And it does not sound like it's been that long.
Wow.
It's been 6 years, and we've had so many great conversations about so much.
Right.
It's just like you're such a well-rounded person, you know. It's like you know a little bit about a little bit about a little bit, you know. And it really does help. Like when you get off the table, it's like you feel so rejuvenated. And as an entrepreneur, that is so important. That's why I wanted to have you on the show, because so many of us may suffer in silence, just trying to run our business, and we're not putting ourselves first and making our lives a priority. And that 160 minutes that we just learned, 60 minutes just gave you back 4 to 5 hours.
Yes.
You can't beat that.
Yes.
You have to make yourself a priority, because it's you versus you. And you've got to be the best you can be to run your business if you want to be successful.
Absolutely.
So the massage helps you with your spiritual, your mental, your physical, and your emotional.
Right.
In 60 minutes, once a month?
60 minutes.
Wow.
60 minutes.
Now, is this $300, $400? What we doing here?
It's not. It depends on
what you want and need.
Absolutely. Sometimes, you know, someone may ask for stones as an added. Someone may ask for stretches or whatever. So our prices for 60 minutes starts at $85.
And that's based on what that client needs. So
Absolutely.
you have a personalized package to fit the need of whatever that client has.
Yes. I like to call it an integrated massage. So sometimes,
Integrated, okay.
So sometimes you may come in for a Swedish massage, but within that session, if I feel that you may need the stones, or if I feel that you may require some stretches or whatever that's going to be able to help you that you didn't really know about, I incorporate that as well.
That is good, because sometimes we don't know what we need. I mean, there have been times I've come to you and you've said, okay, Alicia, we need to stretch.
Correct.
And the great thing about the stretch is you like breathe, okay, 2, 3, breathe. You walk us through that whole process as you're doing it. And it makes it so much easier to be able to say, okay, this is what I need. He know what I need. I trust him. I'm going to do what he's saying. I just say, okay, breathe, breathe, breathe. And I'm like, breathe, 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 breathe. But those stretches are so needed until you have it. It's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I needed that. And sometimes we walk around with an attitude, we stressed out and don't know why, and we just need to give our body that personal attention.
Absolutely. Any discomfort, this is what I say on the table. Any discomfort you feel, take a deep breath in your nose and blow out of your mouth slowly. What it'll do is it'll slow your heart rate down. Because when you hold your breath when something is when it's uncomfortable, you hold, you fight or flight mode kicks in, and so you're holding your breath or whatever, but that's counterproductive to what we're trying to do. And so just breathing, and even in life, you know, sometimes life will knock us, you know, we'll take a blow or we'll take a loss or something in the business or whatever, man. And sometimes you just have to just
breathe through it.
Breathe through it, put a plan together and execute it. And so a lot of things that we apply universally all the way around.
Exactly. Man, this has been some good stuff. I'm like, okay, I need to make my appointment. So, Derrick, you mentioned throughout the show that you go to your clients. Do you have a location where clients can come to you, or how does this work if someone wanted to reach you?
So yes, both.
Okay.
There's a day or two that I also allow to go out and do outcalls. I do have clients who really have enjoy bringing the table to their living room or whatever the case may be. And so they don't want to come to the office, especially if it's cold outside. And so I still serve them as well. I do have a location in South Haven.
Okay.
On Goodman Road.
Okay.
892 Goodman Road. And so yeah, that's where my studio is.
Okay. And are you on any social media platforms that we could follow you?
Yes. You can go to IG and or Facebook at OnPointe Massage and Wellness.
OnPointe Massage
with an E.
Okay. OnPointe. Pointe.
Yes.
Massage and Wellness.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Well, guys, I think you already know what you need to do. If I need to spell it out, you need to go to social media and you need to book your appointment with Derrick. Phenomenal. Thank you so much for coming. I've learned so much. I've always, when I go to get little massages or I'm out of town and I go to the spa, I don't really know why I select Swedish over deep tissue.
Gotcha.
But now I do.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Derrick. Thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate your time. I hope you guys have learned something today. Make yourself a priority. You cannot run your business if you're stressed and not taking care of you. Derrick has just told us, and he's willing to come and show you and help you in that area. So please reach out to him. Again, this has been Real Talk for True Entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for joining Easy Talk, and we'll see you soon. This episode of Easy Talk is sponsored by Spotlight Productions. When it comes to quality, Spotlight Productions strives to deliver excellence.